So I'm attached to 5 different social work teams. 2 of them are safeguarding child protection teams, and I also support 3 adoption teams. So within the safeguarding teams, working a lot with children and their families and their carers, and working to help families at the time of crisis, help planning for permanence for children where their families are not the safest place for them to remain, but also looking at what other family options there might be for them, and supporting families through a difficult time, and sometimes supporting families, you know, that have been through that difficult time back to sort of having children return to their care. So it's a real range of the work. I'd say that's the majority of the work that I do is supporting social workers in their roles. I think for me, I think that's such a key part of learning when you're a student, is having the chance to really follow from the very beginning of when a child hits the statutory services right through to whatever outcome that might be, whether that's returning to their family and us walking away and things have got better, or whether that's a permanent outcome somewhere else. As we're a statutory service, we work within the law that affects children and their families, and as such we have a duty to sort of investigate when we've got concerns about a child and their safety. And so any student that is in any part of our service will certainly get a range of experiences and assessments, whether that's within a short period of time in a crisis or longer term assessments that again might be sort of in our sort of provider services, such as fostering and kinship, and looking at what the permanency plans might be for children. Well, I think none of us have ever forgotten our experiences of being a student. So when I work with a workplace supervisor, the student can expect at least weekly supervision between us, and we try and vary that as much as we can, so that mine must usually be more reflective and looking at working around, particularly around emotional resilience. That's one of my particular things that I'm interested in, is building up resilience in trainee social workers, because I think that sets you up then for a long and happy, healthy career as a social worker. But I also think that we're very supportive of students as an organisation. I think all the social workers across teams are really committed to learning and really enjoy supporting with things like shadowing opportunities, and our partner agencies are very open to having students take part in sort of multi-agency working. So I think that it's not only sort of the social work team and the workplace supervisors, the whole sort of broad network of support for students, and none of us have forgotten how it felt to be a student. That's clearly still in our mind's eye. So I think that it's a positive place. I did one of my social work student placements in Worcestershire when I was studying about 10 years ago, something like that, and it was a really positive experience. So I'm very privileged to be able to sort of give some of that back in being a practice educator, so I promise that they'll be in safe hands in Worcestershire.